Welcome to the Saturday Chat. This is Dave. I'm Ashley of the band SugarLimeBlue. This is where we chat about the song we're going to do tomorrow for our Sunday shout out. So welcome.
Welcome.
We have an exciting chat, maybe. I don't know. We haven't had it yet.
We have an exciting chat. We have an exciting song.
I'm excited about coffee and a cookie. So yeah, let's talk about this song.
So I don't know if I would call it so much exciting. However, it is an interesting song and I've liked it for some time. We are doing George Harrison's
Isn't It
song,
a Pity?
Isn't It a Pity, from the album All Things Must Pass, his first solo album after leaving the Beatles.
In 1970.
Yes, 1970. So this song had been around quite a while, actually, by the time it came out.
He wanted it to be on the White Album, which is, I mean, everybody calls it the White Album.
He had pitched the song to the Beatles for almost every album since Revolver, I think is when it first came along.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, way to believe in your own song, because
he kept pitching it.
Yeah, I'm glad that
it really didn't, I mean, just having listened to the demo tape of it, it really didn't evolve that much. So he must have been or maybe he did pitch it at, like, evolved different versions.
Fit with certain versions, but I mean, Let It Be is kind of a hodgepodge of stuff anyway, so I don't know. They could probably fit on there pretty well, actually, with some of the stuff.
I know anytime you get more than two people involved in any sort of a conversation or any sort of decision making, it's going to make it harder. So they had some very strong personalities, all with really strong songwriting ability, and all of them had good songs. So really weeding through a ton of good songs, what a great problem to have.
So not only did this song, I most recently was the Let It Be album before the breakup, and he really tried to get it on there, but there was actually 3 songs from his first album that were so-called rejected.
They got passed over, yeah.
So one of them,
we'll just say passed over.
One of them was the title track, All Things Must Pass, and there was another song called Wah Wah, which he brought all 3 of those to the Beatles, and they were all passed over. Mm-hmm. I mean, and All Things Must Pass is, I believe, critically believed acclaimed, to be George Harrison's best solo album.
Well, I think a lot of people were perhaps, I think if you look at what classifies as quote-unquote best, the Beatles' years behind them, I think that this was a really raw, bereavement album for him. So I think even though this song was somewhat antiquated as far as his catalog of songs went, because he had it for so long, it really fit the mood of the moment, and I think it was well placed for the time, and well placed also for Beatles fans, because I know that they were probably searching around for some solid ground, because they had such a huge fan base that loved to listen to them so much, and then they broke up, which was sort of a surprise to everybody on the outside, right? And I think the fans were fishing around for something to stay in love with, and I think that songs like Isn't It a Pity poignantly help people who are grieving the loss of that fandom, of that fan universe, basically, that going on.
Yeah, it was timely, right?
Yeah, it was perfect for the people who still wanted to be along for the ride.
And I did misspeak, I think, because Let It Be, even though it was released last, wasn't the album that was recorded last.
It was...
Or assembled last, or however you want to put it. It was assembled last, I think, but it was not the last recorded album, which was Abbey Road.
Was it Abbey Road? Are you sure?
So,
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know my Beatles history super duper well.
That was the last album that was recorded.
I do know that documentary that they just put out about the Beatles was fire.
Yeah, it was really good. The Peter Jackson
really good. Yeah.
It's only like a whole bunch of just put out. That's probably like it's at least 5 years.
A year ago? Oh, 2 years. I have no concept of time. So welcome to my timeline where they just put out a documentary that's been out for 5 years.
I'm pretty sure it's been at least that long. Wasn't it prior to COVID?
It doesn't even matter. It's a phenomenal. It's a great documentary. If you enjoy music and you enjoy a documentary, you would enjoy that one. Yes.
Let us know for certain what your favorite George Harrison song is.
Yeah.
Beatles or Beatleless. Preferably Beatleless, because I'm really familiar with all the Beatles, George Harrison songs, and less so with his lengthy solo career. So I would like to find some more songs like this. I've liked this song for quite a while. There's other songs on. I'm probably most familiar with this album. You know, it had My Sweet Lord, which is a song that he actually gave to Billy Preston, who was, you know, friends of the Beatles, was on the rooftop.
Wasn't there some like legal issue with like chanterelles or something over a song called, I think it's called He's So Fine, about that one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, there was something that happened there.
I know that they were going to record a Chanterelle song for Let It Be, but it got cut. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Beatles did a lot of cover songs, you know, in their catalog.
A lot of people in that
especially in the
era
earlier,
did, yeah.
Especially in the earlier years. Well, even nowadays.
Well, looking into, like, when I was kind of researching, one of the questions, you know, if you look something up on a search engine, it also pulls up commonly asked questions related to your topic. Yeah. Okay. So one of the questions that I found really interesting was, what kind of music did George Harrison listen to? I was like, yeah, I kind of want to know now. I didn't know I wanted to know, but now I do. And they said folk rock. So he enjoyed Bob Dylan and the like that ilk. So I'm not surprised.
He's also credited with bringing, I think we talked about it before, bringing like Indian music into the Beatles because of his connection with Ravi Shankar, who we know now.
We talked about him. Yes.
Is the father of
Norah Jones.
Norah Jones.
Yes. See, I remembered.
So yeah, that's an interesting tidbit and an aside. So
well, also like he practiced Hare Krishna, which I'm not super duper familiar with that religious belief system.
The Beatles, you know, they were pretty much interested in lots of world things.
Yeah.
So they were
world music, world religion, world
things.
Drugs. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, put you on the spot.
Great. Here we go.
I was going to make it hard, but I know that you probably don't categorize them like I do, like your favorite George Harrison song. But what's your favorite Beatles song? Do you have a favorite Beatles song?
So I would have to say, like, one of my very first memories of knowing a Beatles song was when I was really little.
Yellow Submarine.
It was Yellow Submarine. 100% Yellow Submarine. Yes.
All kids like Yellow Submarine.
I loved it. And when our daughter was little, I'm going to throw her under a little bit of a bus here, but she, because you know how you hear things when you're a kid, she called it Yellow Submarine. And so I still call it Yellow Submarine in my head, even when I'm, Yellow Submarine. So that was my first experience with them. I think, is it Imagine?
That's a John Lennon song.
Is that John Lennon? Okay, so I'm not sure, like, what is Beatles and what is, like, post-Beatles. Like, yeah, they are together. Like, they're so cohesive as a unit. Like, even when I hear, like, the George Harrison or whomever's solo projects, I imagine them as the Beatles.
See, they're so... like, in my mind, they are so individualistic and they have such strong individual personalities that
you've got them completely separated.
I got them completely separated.
Wow.
When I hear like a Paul McCartney song, I know it instantly is Paul McCartney because of like the production style and his writing style, and I can tell that the other Beatles are not playing on it.
See, I've not done the kind of sitting with an album like you have, like with the Beatles. I'm a latecomer to the Beatles, other than Yellow Submarine. So I haven't sat with the albums and sussed out like who does what and what song was written by whom.
One of the biggest giveaways is Ringo Starr, believe it or not, because he is such a unique drummer and he plays in such a musical fashion that serves the song, and nobody plays quite like him. If you think about the drum parts that he plays, sometimes they're minimalistic and sometimes they're just like they seem almost completely random. Like you think of a song like Come Together and it's dun dun da 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 da, and then he plays the drums. It's almost like a call and response between the bass and the drums.
It's a very musical way to drum. He does a lot of things
like that. He plays like very interesting, you know, and I think that a lot of people would say that he is like the least skilled Beatle, but I would say that he's one of the most integral parts of the Beatles.
No, I wouldn't even. I feel like they're all like super.
They were
even and amazing, and I think them.
I know that they all had their confidence issues, you know. That was one of the
which is kind of amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing to me.
Like mind blowing, amazing. Sort of like I am amazed that is a thing that people deal with.
And they like, you know, they seem like they were sold in the beginning as like one package of, it was like the Beatles, and they all had the same haircut. And then as they grew and later on, they became
more individualized,
highly individualized and styled, you know, and it was like almost like, you know.
Well, they had the freedom, the success in all of its format to branch out. And it was really sad to me when I learned that they weren't able to play live concerts together anymore because the fans were so loud that they could not hear themselves playing their own music.
They predated like
it's amazing that is
systems,
that is just wild to me that they, what I feel like is the favorite format of music, a live show, was stolen from them by the people that love them, and that impact, nobody even realized what kind of impact that had on the band.
Yeah.
Or on them as people. Yeah. Like, that's just mind-blowing.
I did say that Ringo was a giveaway, but, you know, that when he's not appearing on stuff. However, he did appear on the song. He was the future drummer on this particular track. Yeah. So I think he played on a lot of George's first album, if I'm not mistaken. But,
yeah. So, I enjoyed doing the song. I hope you guys enjoy listening to it. Yes. Let us know what your favorite George Harrison song is. And we will see you tomorrow for the Sunday shout-out.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tune in. See you there. It would be a pity not to.
Oh, Lord.